So those are the in-laws up there. Those are my kids. That was a stepdaughter. But now I should have named this random event video vlog. But yesterday when my nigga was home, he showed me pictures of his grandkids, right? And they're cute. They're cute little kids. The oldest, I thought his hair was longer. But I guess his mother cut his hair, or whatever. Um, but I'm like, yo, he looks like X, Y, and Z, you know? And I'm like a little disturbed by that. Why does he look like this kid? Like, and I mean my ex. Now, from our previous conversations, um, I didn't know my ex had additional kids. Now, I'm not talking about my kid's father. I'm talking about an ex of mine that lives in Baltimore. Um, I didn't know he had additional kids. I thought he just had one daughter, and I always thought that was cool. Like, how did you manage to escape temptation? How did you manage to just keep it one kid? Like, kudos to you. Because having multiple kids is difficult. But then I'm hearing stories like this motherfucker got more baby mothers, and I'm just like, oh really? Okay. He's married, but his wife don't have any kids. He has additional kids. To my knowledge, when he had the first kid, I'm not sure if he was married then or not, but I don't think so. I think he got married later on. And so basically you have kids outside of your marriage. That's kind of disgusting to me. That's not even a turn on. That's not my business. Where it becomes my business is if my stepdaughter's baby daddy is my ex. Hopefully I'm tweaking. Hopefully that is just the kid looks like him, you know. Um, when I mentioned it to my baby daddy, I said, "Oh, he looks like X, Y, and Z." I don't know if he heard me. I don't know if he tried to hide a reaction. I don't know if he even feels the need to tell me that yes, it's his kids, or no, it's not his kids, because guys are weird. Um, but I thought that was weird that, the kid looks like him. Um, and so if that is the case, I have no reason to be upset, right? That's my ex from a long time ago. The thing is, why did you not tell me this sooner? There's been many conversations where he's been brought up and you have not let me know that. So I'm just saying, if that is the case, that just would be weird. Um, and I just don't get it. But he didn't say no, that's not his kid neither. So it's like, hmm. So it's kind of like having me feeling like when black motherfuckers feel like when they're in a position or when there's an opportunity for another black individual to have that same opportunity, they feel the need to want the black individual to help them out, to kind of make it easier for them to end up on the same like opportunity. Does that make sense? Like that whole black on black, like you my nigga, no, like that's just so overrated. Help a nigga out, like shit like that. So now I'm just thinking, if that is the situation, Why do my people feel like this would have been the situation I needed to be in and not be upset? Or were they that nosy to see if I would end up in a situation like this to test me with that situation? Does that make sense? Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it's just me tweaking. Um, but that's just weird. It kind of goes back to my incest video because I forgot to mention him in that video. He was related to my older brother. They were cousins, but me and my older brother didn't have the same father. So that technically made it not an incest situation. Um, but like if I was ever like bragging and say this is my nigga, but then my brother want to fix his lips and be like that's my cousin, it just would be weird. Um, so that's one of the reasons why that shit didn't last. I always felt weird about that. And as far as my new man, he is related to my cousin by father's side. So technically, it's like the same situation repeating itself, but we're not cousins. Does that make sense? Um, but to my knowledge, my ex and my cousins are not related. They just were raised together. Um, so if they're not cousins, him and my man are not cousins. Why do y'all still look alike? That's just weird to me. Um, so you know, I feel like if you're dating someone and both parents are related to that person, that individual, you shouldn't be dating that person. That would be incest. Uh, Give me your feedback on what I just said. Is it incest or not, to your knowledge? Um, Hopefully, my stepdaughter's baby daddy is someone totally different. Hopefully, that's not the case. Hopefully, it's just an assumption based off what I saw. Um, Sometimes people look like other people. Sometimes people look like whoever they've been around with or whoever they were raised around. It's happened to me and my kids. Sometimes I could see you through them, and kids change how they look all the time. Um, I don't like when there are too many secrets in the family. It sparks up the investigative side of me, and I don't like it. Um, no one pays me to think how I think, which exhausts me mentally, um, and physically. Um, it's time to go food shopping. He has an issue with me not going with him to go food shopping. I feel like you've been food shopping before I pulled up. Continue food shopping. Um, when I feel the need, or when I want to, when I feel like, yeah, I'm up to be walking around the fucking supermarket for hours, then cool, you know? Until then, let me rock. Let me be. Just last night, he started throwing away cereal boxes that are not currently expired. They still had months in. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck is that what you're worried about before court? If these motherfuckers want to lurk the house around the way they lurk the house around, um, There's less cereal. Why is that what you want me to go through after knowing what I went through? I just don't get it. Um, and I'm like, yeah, sure, you could dump that. You could dump that. The last time, one of the last times I had cereal, I ended up vomiting. Um, so yeah, throw that one away, type shit. But it's like, why is that where he was home all day yesterday and they ain't decide to go food shopping. So I'm just like, why are you like dragging it? Um, I was excited that there was enough pizza for like 2, 3 days. Um, but I'm pregnant. My cravings vary. Why are you getting tired of doing for me and I'm pregnant? Why did you get me pregnant? I don't get it. Um, I'm broke at the moment, so I can't order my little Amazon Fresh and my little, Amazon munchies and shit like that. Like I want to, but I'm not scared. Like I'm not going hungry neither. But it's just like stack the shit up now because later it might get worse. Who wants to drag a whole stroller through the supermarket? Um, I need him to get his ride. I need him to drive. I'm tired of wanting. I'm tired of paying for Uber. I keep trying to tell him I need to save. I'm not working right now. I need to save. I don't want to spend $10, $20 on an Uber just to get something done. Let me spend $10 and $20 to get out the city, or to get to the next hood or some shit, to go visit some family or some shit. Not to get a errand done. Like I used to do that in the Bronx. I could just walk and save my little $10, $20. So there has to be like a BJ's out here, a Costco or something. This is around the time where I want to stack up. Because when my baby gets here, I want to enjoy my baby. I gotta study. I gotta submit assignments, all that shit. I don't got time to be going to no fucking supermarket. Stop giving me cash. Put that shit in my account. That way I can use my debit card frequently. That way my credit card can stay up to date. He thinks that I want to be doing all of this shit while he's at work. Not in no new city. Is you dumb? Um, so I'm still annoyed. Like, yeah, it's been a minute since I moved, but I'm moving a little slow. Like, not like it. Um, I don't like feeling stalked. I don't like feeling like I'm being overly verified by the government, by school, by my parents, by my kids. You know, I'm the same one. It's just I don't got time for the dumb shit I used to have time for back then. Um, he would not know that because he's still new to me. I'm still new to him. When he and it's funny because the same shit that I've been kind of going through, he's been kind of going through as far as the years and shit like that. When he moved to this unit, I think it was 2020. Because I kind of he had me review a lease or some shit, so I was able to see it was 2020 when I pulled up to Baltimore again, and by myself, because I was here, not here, but like I was in the city before to visit family with my kids. That must have been like 2017, 20, yeah, like sometime early 2017. So when I pulled up by myself with my mother, it was 2020. That's when I met him for the first time. I think he had just moved here. So the place was renovated and everything. Um and so according to him, he kind of had a crush on me back then, or whatever, or was kind of wondering about me and was I seeing anybody, blah, blah, blah. My cousin must have known that this was the nigga for me. Like, he introduced us and everything. So I still don't know if that was a setup, or if he was really looking out for me and was like, you know what, cousin, you need a man, you know. Um, but I never thought that I would be the lady of the house. When I met him, I knew that he would be someone I'm into. I like black, dark chocolate, and muscular, you know. He wasn't too tall, but I was okay because I've dated short niggas before. Um, so yeah, but I was more about my money. I wasn't like really thinking about a new relationship. Um, I was still dealing with my kid's father on the low. Um, so I wasn't really trying to get into nothing new. I know eventually I was gonna need a new relationship, a new man, new love, all of that, because that's all I wanted. But at the same time, I didn't know that. Like, I flirted with people before. I didn't know that he was gonna be my man, let alone my baby daddy. Um, Hopefully he just be tweaking like I be tweaking. But I can't accept lies from him. Not if you're trying to be my fiance and my husband. Not if you want me to continue co-living with you and we about to co-parent to a baby. I need you to be as honest as I'm honest with you. I don't know why guys feel like they don't need to be honest with their girl. Like, what is that? Um, so I don't want to be in the middle of no fraudulent bullshit. I don't want to be in the middle of no scams. I don't want motherfuckers to try to get that kind of attention from me, um, just because they don't know who I am. Move on. Move on. Like, I hear the neighbors sometimes, and I don't want it to sound like I'm in the Bronx still. Let me miss the fucking Bronx. Like, I mean, I didn't come out here to cling to my Baltimore family neither. But I don't need these neighbors sounding like they like I'm in the Bronx. For what? Um, as far as race goes, you know, by now motherfuckers know I'm Latina. Okay, I'm black, but I'm not your kind of black. Cause you know that's where it goes next. If you got the Latina claim and she black, you feel she not black enough. You feel she's Spanish. We trying to X that shit out because Spain motherfuckers is Spanish. Um, and so I can't stand how black people act around me sometimes. They could sense off that I'm Latina and they want to test me out. They want to see what kind, I don't got time for that shit. Y'all do that shit within yourselves too. That's why that should be whack. Um, and my people do it too. I don't talk that other language, so I'm not Honduran enough, and it's whack. It's really whack. Um, and I feel like that's really why the universe placed me with him. I feel like my family was so thirsty. They were so uncomfortable with the previous relationship I was in because they didn't know shit about my kid's father. They didn't know how to communicate with him. They didn't know how to get to know him and vice versa. So there was uh no mutual nothing in between my family members and my man at the time, other than, my twin brother, because he was raised closer to me. So other than that, no other family that I know, that I'm aware of, um could fuck with him, like they would have wanted to. Um, and so they figured if I date me a Honduran, it would be easier for them. Easier for them to do what? Easier for them to do what? Easier for us to get along, I doubt. Because whether he's black, Honduran, white, Puerto Rican, whatever the fuck, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, I'm not gonna lie to my man. I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna be fake. Like y'all assume I'm fake. And that's where y'all gonna end up fucking up. Um and so as far as my missing items, again, I'm uncomfortable with that because now I have younger cousins that have access to the crib. And so with my remaining items over there, I don't want my shit to go missing. In no way am I leaving it there to be like these are up for grabs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would my shit, if I'm thinking I left my shit there the last time I was there, why would my shit not be there? Like I don't get it. Um Now I'm forced to go over there to reclaim my shit, and that's just whack because it does send out like, well, she's stingy, you know, or she all she cares about are material things. My cousins might feel a way, I don't know them, but you know what? That's your problem because now you're grown and now you can communicate. Now you can express yourself, and if you choose not to, then that's not my problem. I'm moving on, just like you need to move on. Um, but as far as it being the thought of it being my mother's, like, why would you want me to think that one of my cousins took my shit? Because that's what I'm gonna think. If it wasn't you, it wasn't your man's, who else has access to the crib? What am I gonna think? Now, the thing is, for the life of me, I can't remember if I brought it out here or if it stayed out there. Now, these are just the thing. If I brought it back with me, it would have been in my man's bag. And he's saying it's not there. I checked, it's not there. So with that not being there, it would have been in my mother's crib. With her saying it's not there, she don't see it. What the fuck? And that can happen in any race, in any family. Who's gonna admit they took my shit if they did? And I don't got time for that. So my plan is to go back, get the rest of my shit, bring it here, and hopefully I don't have to go through that here. But with him hiding the fucking remote, he could have clearly hid my dress. He could have clearly hid my turtleneck. He could have clearly hid my panty. Now this has nothing to do with the fucking lip gloss shit, because I found my lip gloss. But he don't want to admit that because of him I couldn't find my shit. He was not sleeping with me for like 2 days, 3 days. He was out here. He was drinking. He done had a whole fucking bottle of Chardonnay one good evening. Didn't share. And I'm up there in the bed that I'm laying in, and I'm studying. I'm submitting assignments. I got shit all over the bed. So when I put my lip gloss on top of my bag, and then you want to pull up because you miss me, you want to pull up because you want to get in the pussy, you want to move my bag. So of course you move my bag, you move everything that was around me. So in the morning when I'm looking for shit, at that moment I'm not thinking about, oh shit was on top of my bag, this, that, and the third. I'm thinking, where is it? It was right here, and that's when I clearly started venting in one of those videos. But This fucking remote. And so what I'm not understanding is, please don't tell me that these actions are because I haven't gone to check what the heck the baby is. Like, are you really that mad? Then it's like, if we find out it's a girl, how you gonna act? If we find out it's a boy, how you gonna act? Like, then it's, oh no, I want you to check the health of the baby. I want to know how much it weigh. All this. I'm telling you, the baby's heavy as shit. I'm the one carrying it. I'm telling you, the baby's okay because the baby's still moving. The baby's still in there, you know? So it's like, relax. Then it gets me tight when the baby daddies don't want to trust the baby mama. Um, Last night we had to change the room around because he already talking about there's mad shit in the room. What about when the crib pull up? There's no space. All this extra shit. Boo boo, move the bed, like move it around a little bit. That way you can tell if there's gonna be space or not. And I already know there's gonna be space because this is not new to me. The only thing is I don't want my crib too close to the window because I don't want the baby to get annoyed like I be getting annoyed by these neighbors. Obviously, not no one specific out here because I don't know nobody, but I'm just saying these talkative neighbors. I don't want to hear that through my baby. I don't want my baby to hear that. I'd rather my baby be by the wall instead of the window. So I'm like, move the bed a little. And it's perfect because like a year goes by fast. By the time that kid is a year, the kid can get it, well, get out the crib on its own. Start opening doors and shit. So I figured the spot where I picked makes more sense because the baby will be secure versus right by the window. You talking about move my shit downstairs to the basement? Move your shit back downstairs to the basement. Make it a guy room or whatever. I don't know. Um, so I'm just annoyed. As far as me being in a new city, um, I feel like motherfuckers didn't really want the best for me. Um, or was hating or was uncomfortable because I was too comfortable. By the time I had my second son, I already knew that in 2 weeks after birth, I gotta go back to work. That's hard to do when you're breastfeeding. And I still did. And if it wasn't exactly 2 weeks, it had to have been at least a month in. I had to take my pump to me to with me to work. Um, like it was stressful, and I was still trying to hang. I was still trying to be, hip and shit. Drinking, I couldn't really be drinking like that because when you drink, your titties get hot, milk start leaking. I was out one time with my cousin, my fake cousin, and I thought I thought I was good drinking and shit. And we went back to her place, and I'm just chilling, not thinking straight. My whole dress, thank God the top was white. My whole dress, I was leaking. Like my whole dress was damp because I was leaking. But I had to borrow like a little nightgown or some shit from her. And thank God she was literally a block away from me, so I could just go home and shit. But when it was time for me to breastfeed, I'm feeling guilty because I know I got liquor in my system. I had to pump a little bit. Um, I wasn't drinking too much, but what I was drinking was strong. So I kind of had to pump and make sure that the first batch didn't go directly to the baby, or did it? Either way, it wasn't a good idea. Um, but now I'm just a little hesitant to do the same thing. Well, not the drinking part, but the breastfeeding part. Um, I breastfed for 16 months. Then my baby caught the flu, and with the flu, you cannot consume milk. So that's how he ended up weaning off. Then I started school, so I was away from him more, and it was a struggle for him to get the bottle. Um, Ironically, he was a chunky baby when he was born, but his eating patterns were way different than my first child. Doctor said he was healthy and everything, healthy weight. My oldest, he was always in the obese range of things. Doctors was just scared that he was gonna be obese. I used to tell him he's a big boned baby. Like, what you want me to do? Um, but this round, my baby daddy wants me to breastfeed. So I don't know if it's because I'm just stubborn, naturally stubborn. When someone wants me to do something, I tend to like go around that. I feel like if I don't feel like I want to, I'm just not going to. Um, because back then, no one really wanted me to breastfeed. Everyone was pretending or kind of supportive of the idea, but nobody really wanted me to breastfeed because in breastfeeding, there's less time for them to hold my baby. So I think that's how I became more clingy to my kids. That's how I became more stingy with my kids because I was breastfeeding. Um, and so that kind of mentality stuck with me. Um, but it was different than my first child where everyone could just make a bottle and like hold them and I guess like have that time with them, with him. Um, I was definitely stingy with my second child and my first child. But as far as others not being able to feed him, that did show. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, I'm about 4 months going into 5. So now it's like crunch time. Now it's time where we got to make sure we're on the same page. I already started my birth plan. I'm already planning on packing a bag. Cause it's just mental. It's mental. Like I just know that you never know. I want to pray that I end up at least during the 37 to 42 week range. Um, Going into labor by yourself is not easy. It's not fun. It changes your mindset. It changes how you look at life. Um, and I don't want to go too in detail with the negatives, but you do kind of know you can either die or you can come you can see your baby. I did faint for a couple of seconds, or I doubt it was like maybe 2 minutes, if anything. It was between seconds and 2 minutes. I doubt it was any more than that. So that experience is it was life changing. Um, Sometimes I think, wow, if I would have never like opened my eyes again to like really meet my baby, I pushed him out and I fainted. Um, and like the beginning parts of labor, I was on the phone with my ex best friend, and so she was counting the minutes and seconds. Nurses was annoyed by me and was like, "Get off the phone! That you're in labor. Like, what's going on here?" And I got off the phone, and then next thing I know, I pushed him out. I called her back like, "Yo, he's out." She was shocked. She was like, "That was fast. What the fuck?" Everybody was at work. My mother, his grandmother, um, my kid's father at the time. He was with my first child, so I was alone. I was alone with the nurses. I don't even think I saw my doctor that day until later on. Um, so I do appreciate my nurses. I can't stress that enough. Um, but yeah, labor is not. It's not. It's still mental. I'm still processing the fact that I'm about to go through that shit again. And I think it's gonna be my last baby. I wish I can pop more for my man if he wants a big family. But 9 months is draining. 9 months is you could spend 9 months in anything else and it feels like it's going by fast. But when you're pregnant, it's the slowest thing ever. Going through 9 months, different stages, and yeah. This video is past 35 minutes. I'm sorry. I felt like I needed to get my shit off my chest. I want to take some new photos in June. I kind of briefly spoke to my oldest about it. I will have to set up an appointment, but I'm thinking pastel colors. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be June, July-ish. Um, so I want like light colors, cause based on the time, depending on the time, I don't want them pulling up too sweaty or whatever. Good thing is they could change at the studio. So I don't know. I wanted to kind of look like these pictures, but just different colors, different background, different colors. Um, so yeah. And that way I can kind of get a picture with my belly and a picture with my baby daddy. Kind of make it like a little mix. I don't know if my son will want to do like graduation pictures as well. So I don't know. I gotta talk to their father about that. Um, but I thought I'll just let them know. Stand by around that date because I do want to take pictures.